I recently read an article in Politico, and it was titled, "Everything is Awesome." It's true. And the article detailed all the good news about the economy. 5% GDP growth in the third quarter of 2014, unemployment under 6% now, a new all-time high for the Dow, low inflation. Despite the headline, the author did recognize that not everything is awesome, but his point has been repeated several times. And on many different statistical measures, the economy has improved, and it's continuing to improve. And I think the president and his team deserve credit for the steps they've taken here. In particular, job growth is a really big deal, and we celebrate it. Good for you, Mr. President. Despite these cheery numbers, America's middle class is in deep trouble. The average family, not in the top 10%, makes less money today than they were making a generation ago. So who got all of the increase in income over the last 32 years? 100% of it went to the top 10%. All of the new money earned in this economy over the past generation, all of that growth in GDP went to the top. That is a huge structural change in this country. And when I look at the data here, and this includes years of research that I conducted myself, I see the evidence everywhere of the pounding that working people are taking. Instead of building an economy for all Americans, for the past generation, this country has grown an economy that works for some Americans. For tens of millions of working families who are the backbone of this country, this economy isn't working. These families are working harder than ever, but they can't get ahead. Opportunity is slipping away. Many feel like the game is rigged against them, and they are right. The game is rigged against them. Since the 1980s, too many people running this country have followed one form or another of supply-side or trickle-down economic theory, and many in Washington today still support it. Trickle-down policies are actually pretty simple. First, fire the cops. Not the cops on Main Street, the cops on Wall Street. Pretty much the whole Republican Party, and if we're going to be honest, too many Democrats, have talked about the evils of big government and called for deregulation. And it all sounded good. But what it was really about was tying the hands of regulators and turning loose big banks and giant international corporations to do whatever they wanted to do. Turning them loose to rig the market and reduce competition. Turning them loose to outsource more jobs. Turning them loose to load up on more risks and then hide behind taxpayer guarantees, turning them loose to sell more mortgages and more credit cards that cheated American families. In short, turning them loose to do whatever juiced short-term profits, even if it came at the expense of working families. Now, trickle-down had a second part to it, and that is cut taxes for those at the top. Cut them when times are good, cut them when times are bad. And when that meant there was less money for road repairs, less money for medical research, and less money for schools, and that our government would need to squeeze kids on student loans, trickle-down advocates said, so be it. We believe that no one should work full-time and still live in poverty. And that means raising the minimum wage. We believe that workers have a right to come together, to bargain together, and to rebuild America's middle class. We believe in enforcing labor laws so that workers get overtime pay and pensions are fully funded. We believe in equal pay for equal work. And we believe that after a lifetime of work, a person is entitled to retire with dignity. And that means protecting Social Security, protecting Medicare, and protecting our pensions. And let's get ready for what's coming. We believe in trade policies and tax codes that will strengthen our economy, that will raise our standard of living, that will create American jobs, because we will never give up on these three words, made in America. We believe in it. If we are ever going to unrig the system, then we need to make some important political changes. And let me give you a place where we should start. We know that democracy does not work when congressmen and regulators bow down to Wall Street's political power. And that means it's time to break up the Wall Street banks and remind politicians they don't work for the big banks, they work for us.
Undercurrent under the surface makes the mainstream get so nervous. It's time for purpose, for news to serve us, not with propaganda.